Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Jaya Radha Madhava
Jaya Madhava Kunjaya Jaya
Sri Bhakti Swami Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada ki Ananda Gudi Vaishnava Vrinda ki Namo Acharya Srila Haridasa ki Friends of Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gudadara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Shri Radha Krishna Gopal Shyama Radha Giri Gauravan Bandavandam Mukturadan Avadi Maipudam Jagannath Puridam Jamuna Maiki Ganges Maiki Tulasi Devi Bhakti Devi Samaveta Bhakti Nitai Gaura All glory
Krishna.
All glory to somebody. Oh, glory to Shishi Guru and Sri Gauranga. Om Gyana Timirandasya Dhyana Salakaya Chakshurun Tandina Tasmai Sri Guru Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manopishtam Sadhisantena Kale Sayamrupa Kadamaya Kadati Swapakani Mandyam Sri Sri Taparakam Sri Guru Vaishnavam Sri Rupam Sadhudata Sahagana Gunatan Vitam Sadhina Sadhuitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Dev Shri Radha Isakantam Cha Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagat Pate Gopisa, Gopika Kanta, Radha Kanta, Namaste, Tapta Kantana, Gorangi, Radhe, Vrindavaneshwari, Rishabhana Sri, Namami Hari Priye, Vanchakal Taru Vyaskaha, Pasandhyaya Vacha, Patitana Parunivyo, Vaishnavyo, Namo Namaha, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadara, Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Isopanisad ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Hare Krishna. We continue our discussion from Isopanisad. And today we will begin from Mantra 8. Mantra 8. So, such a person must know, in fact, the greatest of all, who is unembodied, omniscient, beyond reproach, without veins, pure and uncontaminated, a self-sufficient philosopher who is awarding everyone's desire since time immemorial. Since time immemorial. Okay. What is Mantra 8 teaching? What is Mantra 8 teaching us? Such a person. Which person? Who is that? Who is that person?
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Sadhu, self-realized soul.
Huh?
A sadhu or a self-realized soul.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Mantra 8 describes how an exalted pure devotee, a self-realized soul, sees the Lord. As the Lord, after it was described in mantra what? Which mantra? Which mantra? You hear me?
Mantra 4, Guru Maharaj.
No.
Mantra 7.
No, I don't agree with both of you. Mantra 8 becomes an exalted pure devotee of the Lord, as he sees the Lord after it was described in mantra 6 and 7. His vision of the world and the living entities in relation to the Lord. The vision of the devotee was in mantra 6 and 7. This way it was pure devotee. Yes. So this is the main. So the word sa here, it begins from sa pariagat. Chukram akayam abhyanam. He saha sa, who has been described in previous mantra 6 and 7, who knows the Supreme Lord as all pervading, and at the super soul of all the living entities. Here, things are their God, the Supreme Lord, being described in this mantra. Yes. Akayam, without body. The Lord has no. Akaya means no body, unembodied. The Lord has no body. So Akaya means what?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, without material body.
The Lord has no material body, without material body. Not that he has no body. He has no material body. Material energy cannot give him a body because he is a source of material energy. So material energy cannot give him a body. It can give all of us body, which is material. But material nature cannot give Krishna. Krishna has to give everything to everybody. That is Krishna's nature. Yeah. So, Ashna Giram. He is Akayam. Somebody can ask, oh, so he's Akayam. No, he doesn't have a material body. He doesn't have a material. He is Ashnagram. Not a material body like us. He doesn't have veins like us. Krishna doesn't have veins like us. He doesn't have a body like us. He doesn't have blood like us. He doesn't have stool urine like us. But Srimad Bhagavatam said that Krishna passes stool urine when he go to the house of the gopis to steal, and they have kept the bottle very high in the ceiling. Krishna hand will not reach there. If he doesn't climb it to take it, and he Krishna to punish the householders, he will pass stool and pass around there. So what do you mean by Krishna has no stool, no body, no urine, no blood, no vein? Why he has no vein? How can you say that? Sukadeva Swami said that in Bhagavad. It is there in the 10th control. So, no vein. Oh, how can you say no vein? If there's no vein, how will it pass? If there's no bone, how can it stay? The flesh can stay without the bones inside. Oh, the bone has to stay. Like, if you want to build a house, you must put iron rod for the cement to stick on and stay, isn't it? The iron rod is the bone. You see, if you don't put iron rod, put only cement, it will stay. The building will come down. don't stay there. You understand? Prabhupada said, but in the transcendental body of the Lord, there is nothing like veins. It's the purpose. It is clearly stated here that he is unembodied. That means that there is no difference between his body and soul, nor does he accept the body by the law of nature as we do. In the material concept of bodily life, the soul is different from the gross embodiment and subtle mind. The Supreme Lord is apart from any such compartmentalized arrangement. However, it is nothing like a difference. There is nothing like a difference of body and mind in the Supreme Lord. He is a complete whole, and his mind and body and he himself are all one and the same. That is the nature of the Supreme. So nothing can be compared with the transcendental form of the Supreme Personality of God. His form is so great, Pratima, that nothing can compare with him. That is Krishna's nature. Next slide. Akayam, unembodied. After Biram, without veins. The Lord has an eternal and transcendental form, Akayam. His form is not similar to the form of the mundane world, not formless. He is devoid of a form we can conceive of. When we look at Krishna's body, what is so sweet, so transcendental, very pure, complete, perfect. There's no fault you can find in Krishna's body. There's no fault. So Krishna has not veil means there is nothing material in Krishna's body. You understand? There's nothing material in Krishna's body. In his existence. So his mind, his body, the soul, it is not different. Our mind is different. Our soul is different. Our body is different. But Krishna's body, Krishna's mind, Krishna's form, Krishna himself is the same thing. There's no difference. There's no difference. Not the same. So he has no subtle body, he has no gross body. But he has a spiritual body, which is eternal. Chukran. Each and every part of his body, he can do the work of the other senses, Brahma Samhita. Archa Vigraha, manifestation of the omnipotence and omniscience of the Lord. Yes. Installed by authorized acharyas who have realized the Lord in terms of mantra 7. The Archa Vigraha of the Lord descends at their request and works exactly in the original way of the Lord, by virtue of the Lord's omnipotence. Non-different from the original form of the Lord. Same. An expanded form of the Lord, easy to approach and accept our services. That is the deity form. The Lord has presented himself to us in that way, so we can easily approach him. Otherwise, it will be difficult to approach. Anyway, Krishna's name is not different from Krishna. That is Krishna's omnipotence. Krishna can give us protection when we take shelter of his name. In the purport, this purpose as God is described here as Paribu, the greatest of all. No one is greater than or equal to him. Other living beings are described here as beggars who ask from the Lord, and the Lord supplies their desirables. If other entities were equal to the Lord in potency, or if they were omnipotent, omniscient, there will be no question of begging from the Lord, even for so-called liberation. The liberation of the living entity is to go back to Godhead. Otherwise, liberation has conceived by the impersonalist remains meat. And the begging business for saying education has to continue unless the beggar comes to his senses and realizes his constitutional position. The Supreme Lord is self-sufficient. When Lord Krishna appeared on the earth 5,000 years ago, he displays the full manifestation of Godhead by his various activities. In his childhood, he killed many powerful demons, and there was no question of acquiring such power by any extraneous endeavor. Krishna did not do meditation to get mystic power to kill demons. But every other person else have to do meditation, do austerity to get some power. Everybody, including demigods, they have to do austerity. They have to sacrifice something. Krishna did not sacrifice anything to become the Supreme God, to do what he did, killing so many demons. And he did that when he was a child. What can a 3-year-old baby do? That is when Krishna killed a personality that is 12 miles long. That is 12 miles. 12 miles. It's a tiny baby, 3 months. What can a 3-month baby do? Even if you're 100 years old, can you fight with the person who is 12 miles long? What is our strength to do that? But Krishna did. So he didn't beg anybody from anything, but we have to beg Krishna for everything. To attempt even the liberation is the nonsense liberation the impersonalists are looking for. They have to beg Krishna seriously for it. They have to do a lot of austerity, study the Vedas scrutinizingly every day for hours and not eating. To get some. Yes, that is our position, and that is Krishna's position, that he does not beg for anything. He has everything. This is the quality that Krishna has, which cannot be compared. He is Paridi. That's the Krishna position. And another qualification given to Krishna, or Krishna has, that is being described. In the Isopanisad. To confirm this, Sri Isopanisad said that he is antiseptic. Krishna is antiseptic. What is antiseptic? Prophylactic. Antiseptic. Antiseptic means what? Antiseptic. What's the meaning? Antiseptic. We have so many antiseptic soap. Yes. So you should know what is antiseptic.
Antibacterial.
Yes. Yes. Antibacterial. Yes. Yes. Tell me.
Something that is clean.
Yes. It's to clear off all the contaminations, all dirty things, all germs, to keep them off, to give us health. Antiseptic. To give us health. So we are free, we are protected from, like we have a vaccine. And that is vaccine. Common word today. Vaccine is common now. Vaccine. See, if we vaccinate, if our body is vaccinated, then you are free from virus. You're free from what? You're not free from headache. You still have headache because you have mature body, but we are free from sin. If we vaccinate our body with Krishna consciousness, we are free from sin, but not from disease. Because the body itself is a disease. So if you want to be free from disease, you have to change this body and get a spiritual body. Then you yourself now is antiseptic like Krishna, because we are part of Krishna. So we have Krishna's quality. So we don't need any antiseptic substances or facilities to take care of God's body. Because the soul does not get sick. The soul doesn't get hunger. The soul does not get disease. The soul does not get sleep. All these are a body. It's our body. The soul never get ugly. You never get it because it's all contaminations of the body. It's activities of the body. So it has nothing to do with the soul. The soul is never poor. It's always rich. So sometimes Swami said in Goloka, all the soul will have the opulence of Krishna, and all the opulence of Krishna that we possess in the spiritual world, they are eternal. And they are desirable. In the material world, is it desirable? Everything we get here, they are all punishment. Everything is punishment. Even what we consider enjoyment is punishment. It's punishment. But they are all desirable things, all the opulence of Krishna, all the 6 opulences of Krishna, we have them. They are very sweet, very tasty, and desirable. And they are eternal. Not that tomorrow you are going to look for it again. You're going to work continuously for life and save money. It doesn't happen like that. Why we save money? Because tomorrow you may not be there. So we have we have to save. There's nothing to be saved because everything is already saved. It's already there eternally. They're all eternal. Eternal, all eternal. They all exist in there. Yes. And prophylactic, pure and uncontaminated. He is antiseptic in the sense that even an impure thing in the estimation of the mundane world can become purified just by touching him. The word prophylactic refers to his association and mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita. Association with Krishna. Association with Krishna will do what? It will free us from all unnecessary things. We become pure, fully pure. Yet he is still to be accepted. There, it is said that a scrupulous devotee may appear in the beginning to be Durata, not well behaved. Yet he is still to be accepted as pure because he is on the right path. That is the prophylactic nature of the Lord's association. The Lord is a Papa Bidam. He is a Papa Bidam. That is nothing like sin can touch him. Even if we may do something which appears to be sinful, such actions are good. And there is no question of the Lord being affected by sin. In all circumstances, he is Sudham, most purified, even compared to the sun. The sun exacts moisture from many untouchable places of the earth, and itself remains pure. In fact, it purifies obnoxious things by its sterilizing effect. If the sun is so powerful, although only a material object, we can imagine the purity and strength of the Almighty Lord, who is supreme and powerful. The other point mentioned here, the last, is that the Krishna is what? He is the self-sufficient philosopher who is awarding everyone's desire. He's fulfilling everyone's desire since time immemorial. Krishna fulfills our desires, all desires since time immemorial. Krishna fulfilled the desires of everyone since time immemorial. He's fulfilling only the desires of devotees and not the non-devotees, or everyone.
Everyone.
So yes. That is the difference between the Lord and all of us. That's the difference. We will discriminate. This is a friend and this is not a friend. You would deal with them equally? No. Krishna deal with everyone equally. Why? Why Krishna is dealing with everyone equally?
Hare Krishna Maharaj,
Hare Krishna.
because we are part and parcel of him.
Because we are part and parcel of Krishna. We're Krishna's children. We are Krishna's children. So the way he look at us is different from the way we look at others. We treat our children different from how we treat other people's children, right? Similarly, Krishna, he owns all of us. So he's treating us as his father, as his children, the same way. If we are to be Satan's or demons' children, then he will also be partial like that. Okay, these are not my children. These are my children. But because he accepted everyone as his children, whether good or bad, he's maintaining us. He maintaining everyone since memorial time. This is his nature, that he will maintain us. That is his nature, Krishna's nature. Some people have stopped giving donations to the temple because they felt that the donation was not properly used the way they want. But Krishna does like that. Do we really serve Krishna exactly the way Krishna wanted? But he's still maintaining us, right? He said he's still maintaining. Even the criminals, the demons, Krishna still take care of them. Who gave them the power to use as a demon to terrorize? Who gave the power? Krishna, because that is a desire. That is a desire to terrorize people. So Krishna gave them the power. And Krishna also gave them the result of being a deviant. Right? When we start paying for that, we'll be complaining seriously. God, where are you? Is it not? We ask, God, where are you? Are you still there? Seeing all this happening to me? God is always there. It is we who should ask ourselves, where are we? We should ask ourselves that question, not God. What I am before you, Krishna? That is the question we should ask ourselves. But in ignorance, we are asking Krishna, where are you? It is wrong. He's always there. He's always here. He's always there, always present. Is there any way the super soul doesn't exist? Super soul. So anytime the super soul doesn't exist with us, any person here doesn't have super soul. So how can I say, where are you, God? I don't say that. Super soul is always there. Is any time that those super soul? Only when you have attained pure love of God to go back to Krishna, then the super soul becomes Krishna. The super soul will disappear. The original Krishna appears. So we should not ask Krishna where he has been or where he's seen. We should ask ourselves, where have we been? Where are we? That is the question we should ask ourselves. Anyone who asks himself or herself that question, now you are a devotee. Right? As a devotee. It's a devotee. So all the wonderful qualities mentioned here, Baba Vidam, Shuddham, Paribu, They are all qualities of Krishna. Yes. And this the supply of all our desires since time immemorial. He never changes man one day. He never changes. Everyone eats in this world. Everyone, all species of life eat. Whether we are poor, we are rich, we eat. Everybody eats. Yes, something. The quality is different or the quantity is different, but everybody eating something. Something. Who's giving that? Krishna is giving it. Yes. Okay, mantra 9. Yes. Omniscient. We mentioned, we have discussed omniscient. Krishna is omniscient. That is a question probably is asked. What is omniscient? The meaning? Omniscient? What is omniscient? Omnipotent, omniscient. Krishna knows everything. Krishna knows everything, every time. He's aware of everything all the time. Because he's conscious of everything and everyone all the time. He's also omnipotent, means that he has power. Not power. He has power to do anything, everything in life. That is Krishna. Right? Okay, so we go to mantra 9. Yes, mantra 9. Any other question from anyone before we go to mantra 9? Yes.
I have a question.
What is your question?
Although Krishna is not passion, but as a father, if you have many children, you want more obedience, they get more blessing or more. It's not for the father. But why is it that when someone becomes more engaged in the service, it's possible to Dhira Krishna intentionally putting that through?
The question here was why devotees seems to be less famous than demons. Devotee go to the materialists to go and beg after you call them enemies. You go to them, right? The devotee will go to hospital, right? Instead of being transcendental, demons are more powerful, famous, prosperous. Who is the most wealthiest person in the world today? Wealthiest person?
Elon Musk.
Huh?
Elon Musk.
Is a devotee?
Yes.
Is he a devotee?
They are full of debt.
Is he a devotee?
No.
No.
Mara is not a devotee.
Demon.
So demons are more richer than devotees. So which one is better?
Devotee.
Who is the most famous person in the world today, materially speaking? Actually, this is text 9. From text 9 to 11. If you look at it materially, if you look at text 9, 10, 11 materially, externally, it's more perplexing. So the question is leading to text 9, 10, and 11. So Yudhishthira Maharaj, that is long time back. Yudhishthira Maharaj, also he did the same thing. He asked Loma Sarishi, quote, I cannot say that I'm not pious. But look at my life from beginning till date, or to tomorrow, till I'm going to leave this body. It's full of troubles. Full of trouble. 1, 2, 3, no end to the trouble. No single one day that I can say, today is different. There's no day like that. But look at that Durga worship. Just see. Look the number of cars in his compound. Look at the people who goes to see him every day. How many people go to Hare Krishna temple in India? In Africa? No, in India it's different. Especially in Africa. How many people go to the Hare Krishna temple every day? In a day, how many people? But how many people go to McDonald's office? How many people go to in a day? McDonald's?
Millions.
Million. How many people go to Hare Krishna temple in a day?
1,000.
I remember I remember a few years ago I was in Mauritius, and the McDonald's has its office very close to one of the ISKCON temples, Phoenix Temple, the Phoenix Temple. McDonald's has its office very close there, next to the temple. And on the Christmas day, there were 5 cars in Hare Krishna temple on the Christmas day, 5 cars. McDonald's compound was full. In the street, both left and right, the street were full, long, this side, long, the other side. That means McDonald's has disciples more than
Disciple. How do you Prasad.
So, which one is better, McDonald's or Krishna?
Krishna.
Oh, very good. Only a fortunate person, not fortunate, very, very fortunate person can say Krishna. Only a very, very, very fortunate person can say Krishna. Majority of people will say McDonald's. Or like Yudhishthira Maharaj said, Durga worshipper. And what was the answer? What was the answer? Loma Sarishi. Loma Sarishi told you, see, please stop talking like this. Please stop talking like this. Don't talk like this. Don't talk like this. Why should you talk like this? Eh? Have you seen one day Krishna going to that man's house? Krishna lived in a house exactly like he lived in his own Dwarka, Mathura, if you look at the name. Have you ever seen just one day going to that man's house? No. But Krishna lived in their house. And he can tell him, no, Krishna, please don't leave now, say again, and Krishna will stay. That person can tell Krishna like that? No. He doesn't have the power to do that. But Yudhishthira Maharaj, you have power to detain Krishna. Krishna wanted to, after staying for long in Hastinapura, he wanted to go to Dwarka. You just say, please, my Lord, please, can you stay for 2 more weeks? He says, yes, my friend, I will stay. Yes, I will stay. Yeah, Krishna stayed, not with the grudge. Krishna didn't stay with grudge. Okay, let me just do it. No, he stayed with his heart complete, as he will stay in Vaikuntha in Goloka. So Krishna will do that to the Durga worshipper? Krishna will do that to McDonald's? No. 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 So in the Bhagavatam, Lord Krishna said, when I have given someone my mercy, I will make that person a destitute. That means that person is going back to God. Lifetime. So it is for the purification of the devotee. It's for the purification of the devotee that Krishna gives us so many challenges. We should see it as Krishna's mercy and accept it, even though it is painful. Yes, that is how you get purified. And that purification will help us to get Krishna's mercy to go back home, back to God. All right. So let's look at mantra 9. You can chant it together. Andam tama pavishanti ye vitam upasate tatubuya ivate tamo yahu vidyayam tataha vidyayam tataha. Those who are engaged in the culture of nation activities shall enter into darkest region of ignorance. That is clear, isn't it? This one is clear, right? Now look at the second part. We mentioned it's perplex, it's a perplexity, it's perplexity. Is it not? So look at this, so this one is very clear. The second part is very clear, but look at this, the first part is clear. Look at the second part. What still are those engaged in the culture of knowledge? How is that? Still. Yes. We know that knowledge brings what? Purification. Knowledge is light. Ignorance is darkness. So who should suffer more? The one in ignorance or the one in knowledge? Huh?
One in ignorance.
But here, Krishna say worse. No, Krishna. So I am going to say it is worse. What? Worse still is for those who are. Did you look at it very carefully? Look at the word very carefully. Look at the word very carefully. You see? Yeah. Now you got it. Now you got it. What still are those engaged in the so-called knowledge? Means what? The culture means what? Yeah.
Of knowledge.
Yes, those who are ignorant, but they think they are in knowledge. So-called. Yes, they think they are in knowledge, but they are in knowledge. Sometimes we think that we're enjoying, but actually we are suffering. Yes. Yes. So that is what we mentioned before. If you look at it, externally it looks like a contradiction, but it is not a contradiction. Vidya and avidya. All right. So there is vidya, there is jada vidya, jada vidya, jada vidya, jada vidya. Material knowledge, knowledge about matter, not about not about the spiritual knowledge, material knowledge. Silvato not a poet has a song like that. Jada Bidya Saba Mayara Baiba. That is Bhakti not a poet. So okay, now we look at ignorance and so-called knowledge. This is the gist of mantra 9. Right? So we are looking at ignorance and so-called knowledge. Which one is better?
Ignorance.
Why ignorance? How can you say a foolish person is better than an intelligent person? How can you say like that? Yes, tell me.
Because they are empty. They know that they are empty.
Okay, ignorant person is empty. He can be true. You understand? Yes, tell me something.
But the so-called
Those who put misguided.
push it to you.
Yes, I didn't hear you. Please talk like that.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Ignorant knows that he doesn't know anything and he's ready to learn.
Okay, ignorant person doesn't know, but he's ready to learn. So it's better than one who thinks that he knows but doesn't know anything.
Yeah.
Yes. that is what is happening.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
The person who believe to know also he have a karma of sense gratification and he engage others to fall down. So he will suffer more than an ignorant who don't know. And just
Okay. All right. Good. Thank you. Yes.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Maharaj, here the ignorant person is one who is foolish. A foolish person, he cannot convince others to become like, he cannot get followers. But the so-called knowledge is a Mayavadi. He can destroy the spiritual life of others just by his giving his association. So he's more dangerous than the first one.
Yes. Very good. Thank you.
Active fool is more dangerous in the society.
Huh?
Active fool is more dangerous for society. As lazy intelligent, active intelligent.
Yes. Thank you. Why proper calls on people? Why proper call us fools and rascals?
Krishna Maharaj.
Yes.
Can I
Why
say, we can say a person who don't know anything is better than a small literate who think that because the person who is small literate think that he know everything, but what he know is not good.
Okay. Thank you. Why proper say fools and rascals?
Proper say fools and rascals. Fools doesn't know. We are fools because we don't know anything. Rascal, we don't know anything. We are doing that.
All right. Yes. Fools and rascals. Fools, rascals. Is it always true that a foolish person is a rascal? Is it true that a foolish person is always a rascal? All foolish people are rascals? I prefer say fools and rascals. Fools, rascals. Everyone in my travel is engaged in self-repetition. Why should the purpose use the word fools and rascals?
It's addressing to
Yes. Let me hear from you also. Can I hear from you something? Fools and rascals. What's the meaning? We already many times. Proper use the word. Many times. Fools and rascals. What in lectures and the talk pots. Fools and rascals. Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, it's like chewing the chew. We go on chewing the sugar cane in spite of having extracted all the juice from it, but we go on chewing. So the trying to enjoy material life in this material world is just like chewing the chew. We are not getting anything except suffering, but we are thinking that it is enjoyment. So we are more.
That is a fool. That's a fool. But how is he a rascal? That's a fool. But how is he a rascal?
Even he's getting like bad experience. He is not realizing that he has to stop that bad habit.
All right. Thank you.
He doesn't want to know what is the truth.
Huh?
He wants to remain ignorant.
And that's a fool. He's a fool.
Maharaj, he's a rascal because he thinks that he knows, even when he's a fool.
Yes. Yes. If one is a fool, that is okay. He's a fool. But when we are establishing our foolishness as reality, as knowledge, that is rascality. Yes. That is rascalism. So not all fools are rascals, but some of us who are fools, we are rascals. We are advertising our ignorance with the full strength as reality. That's rascality. So if you don't know, you should keep quiet so we can learn. It's okay. All right. Here we are looking at ignorance and so-called knowledge. So we're dealing with fools and rascals. How is Vidya avidya? And what is real Vidya? Now we look at it here. All right. Avidya, being engaged in activities of sense gratification. But who is that? All of us, Karmis, all of us who are not in the who are not in Christian consciousness. Who? One, Karmi is 99.9% of the human population. We are what? Engaged in sense gratification. Engaged under the flags of industrialism, economic development, altruism, political activism. All these are what? Avidya. We are all avidya. Second, also called mudras, as a symbol of stupidity. Right? In this mantra, there is a comparative study of vidya and avidya. Avidya, or ignorance, is undoubtedly dangerous. But vidya, or knowledge, when mistaken or misguided, is even more dangerous. In modern human civilization, this explanation of Isopanisad is more applicable than at any other time in the past. Modern civilization has advanced considerably in the matter of mass education, and yet the result is that people are more unhappy than before on account of too much stress on material advancement without any taste for the most important aspect of life, which is spiritual life. Our emphasis is more on sense gratification, how to take care of the body. Everything in the material world is what? Is centered on the body. And what is ignorance? We forgot that the thing which is keeping the body that we are 100% engaged in taking care of is neglected, also 100%. The soul is neglected, 100%. Who knows about the soul? Vidya, so-called knowledge, more dangerous because it is mistaken and misguided. It is mistaken and misguided. Mistaken mundane educators. They are described here as Vedavad Rata. Rata. What could describe the better about Rata? Yes. So our society is a society full of godless people. These are our leaders all over the world. They are godless people, godless civilization. The more a man forget the real fact of life, the more he is in darkness. And we a godless civilization directed towards a so-called of education is more dangerous than a civilization in which the mass of people are less advanced. There are different classes of men called Karamis, Gyanis, and Yogis. The Karamis are those who are engaged in the activities of science education. Almost 99.9% of the people in modern civilization are engaged in activities of science education under the flags of various activities such as industrialism, economic development, altruism, political consciousness, and so on. All these are our problem. All these are designed to keep us in darkness. And this is what our politicians are giving to us. Therefore, Srapapa will mention here that politicians, scientists, philosophers, they are all dangerous. Who are they? Politicians, scientists, philosophers, they are all dangerous. The so-called Swamis, they are all dangerous. And we should try to avoid them. But how are you going to avoid the vaccine? Because the demons are in control. Before Apollo was composer, right? And then before that was yellow fever. Yellow fever was composed. Then to Apollo composed. Now it is Corona vaccine composed. Where are we going? Where are we going? Darkness. If a person is in a person has lost his way in the forest, the best way is to keep going. That's the best way to keep going. Because the more you go, the darker and more perplexity you're going to get. So that is where we are sticking our head in. And those who will play the role of helping this sort of civilization in the name of education advancement are doing more harm than those who are on the platform of gross sense verification. So-called knowledge is what? It's also darker vidya. It's more dangerous. They are doing more harm than those who are on the platform of gross sense verification. The advancement of learning by the godless people is as dangerous as a valuable jewel on the hood of a cobra. A cobra decorated with such a valuable jewel is quite as dangerous as one who is not so decorated. You know why? You know why that is a cobra with a jewel is more dangerous? You know the reason?
It'll attract the people towards it.
They will attract people towards it. Any other thing? That jewel. You have not seen, as I have seen in the village, because I'm a village man. So in the forest, we know all these things. The cobra with jewel. In the night, it shine. It shine bright. That is light he sees to find his way. And we have to also get notified, oh, danger is coming, so you can find a way. So why that jewel on the head? Why that jewel?
Attract and eat us.
Huh? Your network is down.
It's for attract and eat us.
Any other reason? Thank you for the contribution. Any other reason? The jewel, not all the cobra has the jewel, that jewel, not all. Some have, some doesn't have. That jewel on the head is as a result of that cobra not using the poison for a long time, become condensed and create that jewel in the head. Therefore, if that cobra bites you, there's no mercy. So Prophet has compared us to that cobra, very dangerous. Our modern educators are the cobras on the head. They are very, very dangerous. Right? Is it not dangerous? No. Very dangerous. Therefore, the aim of education should be self-realization, realization of the spiritual values of the soul. Any education which does not lead to such a realization of life must be considered avidya. It is what? Avidya or what? Nations. And to culture such nations means going down to the deepest region or darkest region of ignorance. Such mistaken educators are known in the Vedic language by 4 names: Vedabad Rata, Maya Pahrita Yan, Asuram Bhavam, and Naradama. Naradama. So-called knowledge, because it is mistaken and misguided. Mistaken mundane educators, they are what? Vedabad Rata. This is Bhagavad Gita 7:15. And Vedabad Rata is chapter 2, verse 42. So Krishna uses this word in Bhagavad Gita for 2:42 and 7:15. You find this. So we should be very, very careful with these 4 kinds of people. We should be careful what? We should be careful with these 4 kinds of people. Who are these 4 kinds of people? Vedabad Rata, and Maya Pahrita, Gyan, Asuram, Bhavam, and Naradama. So properly explains. Okay. Previously, people might be uncomfortable when one commits sinful activities. For example, for example, I give you a practical example. One of the leaders in Nigeria who has been 3 times president in this country, Nigeria. One of them. The first time he went to London for schooling. When he was a young man, he went to London for schooling. He didn't stay there. He left in London and came back to Nigeria. Because the next door neighbor to him, died, and he didn't know until after 1 year. So when he heard that this person died, and nobody told me, is this human? Out of disgust, he left the country and came out to Nigeria. That is, they are not human beings. But today, where is his house? He has many houses in London. Not all the houses. All the money he has stolen from Nigeria is in London. So in the past, what we have seen to be irreligious, uncomfortable. Today it is what? It's comfortable and religious. It's acceptable. There are many. This is just one. There are many. And many things like this that we are we are going down. But why are we going down? Because of our leaders who are animalistic in their consciousness. They are guiding by adverts. No, this is good. Just see, this is because you don't have this, that's why you're not happy. Just get this, you are there. You are there. I promise you are there. Yeah. And see, when we keep hearing things every day, it's very natural that we start taking to it. That is the danger, the powerful weapon that demons are using today, advertisement. Very powerful. So the Veda Bhadrata people pose themselves as very learned in the Vedic literature, but unfortunately, they are completely diverted from the purport of the Veda. Therefore, they are very dangerous. Understand? Yes. But the Veda Bhadrata people, instead of realizing the purport of the Vedas, take it for granted as side issues such as the attainment of heavenly pleasure for sense gratification, the loss for which the very cause of their material bondage in the first place is the ultimate end of the Vedas. Such people misguide others by misinterpreting the Vedic literature, and sometimes they condemn the Puranas, which are authentic Vedic explanation for laymen. The Veda Bhadratas make their own explanations of the Vedas, neglecting the authority of the great teachers called acharyas. And they tend to raise some unscrupulous people from among themselves as the leading exponent of Vedic teaching. They are dangerous. They are dangerous. So we should try to avoid them. So what is real knowledge? The Supreme Lord is a proprietor of everything, as we discussed in Mantra 1. Is it not? The Supreme Lord is what? The proprietor of everyone. Isopanisad principle is to keep us very close to Krishna. The aim of real education should be self-realization. The realization of the spiritual value of the soul. This is real knowledge. Anything beyond this, Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, it is what? Avidya. That's chapter 13. Yes. Anything which is less than this avidya, even if you look very beautiful, it's avidya. And those who are propagating avidya in the name of knowledge, they are dangerous cobras. They are dangerous cobras. Avidya, forgetfulness of the above facts. Anyone who forgets the aim of Krishna is the proprietor and the name is self-realization is what? Is avidya, that's ignorance. The more a man forgets his fact of life, the more he is in darkness. All right? Madhavacharya, he gave explanation for this. Who worship with false knowledge? Vidya. One who worship with false knowledge. As a Vidya. What is Vidya? One who worship with true knowledge, worship Lord Vishnu, but do not correct false knowledge. One thing is to avoid something which is wrong or keep quiet. Another thing is to correct anything which is wrong. That is the duty of Acharya. So we see our Acharya, they speak very strong. I may wonder, They are sadhu, they're supposed to speak gentle, but look at the word they are using. Yes, they have to do that to protect us. They have to do that. The worshippers of the deities other than Lord Vishnu, and who do not criticize the false worshippers. The teaching. Those who know Narayan in his true form, free from fault, and simultaneously criticize those with false knowledge of Vishnu are the true devotees. Why we should criticize false knowledge? Why should we criticize false knowledge? Why? Why should we criticize false knowledge?
So they go on the right path.
Huh?
For that they advance, they understand that Vishnu is the proprietor of everything. They don't need to worship all the other demigods, but they should turn to the Supreme Personality. And for that, they don't lost them time and life in mistake. They don't know. They should be teach. They should receive knowledge.
Okay, thank you. When we criticize false knowledge, which is full of sorrow and ignorance, we will save so many souls. And because we are helping people to be out of ignorance, out of suffering, we also be liberated. That is why the people who are selfish will remain depressed and miserable in this world. And people who are selfless, they will always have the mission of Krishna because they are supporting Krishna in his mission to reclaim conditioned souls. And by knowing the complete truth, which is full of bliss and knowledge, we also will attain that real bliss and knowledge of Krishna. All right. Vidyarata means engaged in the study of the Vedas. As short, the so-called Vidyaratas are condemned here because they do not know what the purpose of the Veda is on account of disobeying their acharyas. So Veda-Vadaratas are accustomed to finding meaning in every word of the Vedas to suit their own purposes. They do not know that the Vedic literature is not a collection of ordinary books and cannot be understood except through the chain of disciplic succession. So they are dangerous for themselves and they are dangerous for their followers. One must approach a bona fide spiritual master in order to understand the transcendental message of the Vedas. That is the direction of the Katha Upanishad. For this Veda-Vedanta, people have their own acharya, who is not in the chain of the transcendental disciplic succession. Thus, they will progress into the darkest region of ignorance by misinterpreting the Vedic literature, even more so than those who have no knowledge of the Vedas at all. The Maya Pahrita Gyan class of men are self-made gods. Such men think that they are themselves gods, and there is no necessity of worshiping any other god. They will agree to worship an ordinary man if he happens to be rich, but will never worship the actual personality of God. Such foolish men cannot recognize their own foolishness regarding the question of how God can ever have been entrapped by illusion. If God were ever entrapped by illusion, then illusion will be more powerful than God. But they also say that God is all powerful. So if God is all powerful, then how can he be overpowered by illusion. The self-made gods cannot answer all these questions very clearly, but they are satisfied that they have become God themselves. That is their ignorance. That is their foolishness. All right. Any question?
Explain Asura Bhava.
Asura Bhava. The same data 715. 715. It's only the first one that is different. The remaining three persons are from 715 Bhagavad Gita. The Maya Parita again, Ashwan Baba, and Naradama. The same verse, 715. Lewis and more mankind. All right, mantra 10.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Please, I want to ask a question. For what we just read about the Maya Apartheid journeys, in the Christendom, in the Bible, I've forgotten the actual term, but it is stated that ye are gods, or ye are like smaller gods. Therefore, we see some of their leaders or those who are called to service carry themselves like God, worshipable by their followers and all that stuff. In this regard, are they not acting in conformity to what they read?
What's the last word?
Okay. Because the Bible says they are also like gods. So therefore, if they carry themselves as gods, they are general class. And are they not acting?
The Bhagavad Gita talk about demigod. They talk about demigod and also talk about the supreme God. So we have Godhead, the demigod. Demi means small, not the real God, but the small one, because we are part of Krishna. So if we don't have leaders who have the knowledge to explain these differences to us, they are very dangerous. All of them are very dangerous. At the same class, my parita again. They are very dangerous. So, Prabhupada recommended here, we should hear from Acharyas, the real Acharyas. And in the future, we are going to hear. The Christians say we should hear from the Dhira. Yeah, Dhira. It is Shushurma. Dhira. Yeah, this very one. That is where we are. Text 10. Any other question? Otherwise, we move to text 10. All right. Text mantra 10. Anyad Ivahur Vidyaya. Nyadahur Avidyaya. Iti Shushurma. Dhiranam. Yena Chaksiri. The wise have explained to us that one result is derived from the culture of knowledge. And it is said that a different result is obtained from the culture of nations. Two things are there. Very clear. So, result of true knowledge. Matter 10, we are going to look at the result of true knowledge, vidya, and how to cultivate it. How to cultivate true knowledge. So if you remember, mantra 9 described the result of cultivating ignorance and false knowledge. Mantra 10 explained that true knowledge brings a different result than either of these. It also emphasizes the need to take guidance from Dhira in the act of discriminating between real and illusory knowledge. We have already explained that it is good for us to expose, to criticize Vidya and those who propagate that. Yes, it is necessary because it's good for us. And we are protecting so many people by doing that. Some people will not know. Some people will not know. Ignorant people will not know. They will fall into it. It's our duty to protect them. Those who will be protected will be protected. And those who will not be protected, that is a problem. But our own duty is to help people to be in knowledge. Yes. And when we do that, we become the object of Krishna's mercy. Krishna's mercy. We'll get Krishna's mercy by doing that. So it is important. So we're going to get this mantra 10, cultivating knowledge and nations. How to cultivate Vidya and Vidya. How do we culture that? 18 methods are given. 18 methods are given, which are from Bhagavad Gita. In Bhagavad Gita, 8 to 12, 13 chapter, 8 to 12. Krishna has given 20 items. Combined to form a gradual process by which real knowledge can be developed. Who? Acquired from a Dhira. Who is a Dhira? One who is not disturbed by material illusion. A Dhira is one who is not disturbed, undisturbed, undisturbed. One who is undisturbed is a Dhira, not disturbed. Why is not disturbed? Why is not disturbed and how to become undisturbed? Why is not disturbed and how to become undisturbed? Why is not disturbed? He is perfectly spiritually realized. Perfectly spiritually realized. He is Dhira. Neither hankers nor lament for anything. He never hanker nor lament. That is the Dhira. He knows that the material body and mind are foreign elements. Therefore, makes the best use of a bad bargain. To make the best use of bad bargain. Who is that? Dhira. These are the qualities. These are the qualities. He is perfectly spiritually realized. He never hanker for nor lament for anything. He knows that the material body and mind are all what? Foreign elements. Therefore, he would tolerate everything and make the best use of it. Use the body. This is Bhagavatam. Although this body is temporal, but it is very useful because you can use this body to do what? To achieve the highest goal, which is Krishna. This body. So Dhira is one who knows this principle. and he applied all these principles. So he is there. Only by submissively hearing from a bona fide spiritual master and by following the regulative principles. Will become a Dhira by what? Over something? Yeah, my Dhira. All of you Dhiras. Like that?
No.
What is the process? What is the process? We must submissively hear from a bona fide spiritual master and what? Follow the regulative principles of freedom. The regulative principle for freedom. A regulative principle is for what? It's for freedom. So if you look here, Prabhupada has enumerated 18 here. They are all given here, 18. I'm not going to go through all of them now. I hope you have already done that. One should become a perfect gentleman himself and learn to give proper respect to others other than himself. We should become what? Perfect gentleman or gentle lady. Is it not true? All of us should become what? Perfect gentleman, gentlewoman. This is the teaching of Isopanisad, to keep us close with Krishna. This is Isopanisad, keeping us very close. We should become perfect gentlemen, gentlewomen. This is very important. Very, very important. What constitute nations? All other methods except the above 18 items. At the end, Krishna concluded in chapter 13, Krishna concluded, out of these 20 items I have enumerated, anything outside this is what? Nations. Nations. Slabatu Notakura, all forms of material knowledge are merely external features of the illusory energy. Oh. So what is the result of cultivating a nation? What is the result of cultivating nations? Abidya. What is the result? We become no better than an ass. Beast of burden. Ass is what? Beast of burden. Carry load unnecessarily. We suffer unnecessarily. Our suffering is unnecessary. Why? Because we are cultivating nations. Ignorance. Some proper explaining in the purport here. All these nonsense things. All this nonsense. Nonsense. Outcome of such culture. What is the outcome? Boys do not respect elders. No, Adam Bitram. Adam Bitram means what? Pride. Location started with humility. Aman Bitram, Adam Bitram. Humility, Krishna mentioned. The first thing Krishna mentioned is humility. Be a gentleman, gentleman. That is humility. Is it not? That's humility. The opposite of that humility is what? Pride. Adam Bitram. Adam Bitram. That is pride. False pride. Why is that? Material advancement of knowledge means actually converting a human being into the status of an ass. human being becomes an axe. A symbol of ignorance. So materialistic politicians, under cover of spiritual government, do decry the present system of civilization as satanic. But unfortunately, they do not care for the culture of real knowledge, which is described in the Bhagavad Gita. And therefore, they cannot change the satanic situation. This is wonderful. Adam Bitwam, in a modern setup of things, even a boy thinks himself self-sufficient and pays no respect to elderly men. Thus, due to the wrong type of education imparted by our universities, boys all over the world have become the cause of headache to the elderly people. Boys are what? Headache. Is it not? Anxiety for the parent. Yeah, is that the reason why we got children? Hello, daddy. Hello, daddy. There's one of our friends. We have to be practical so we can understand these things. So a good devotee, very good devotee. He has really helped us a lot here in Nigeria. He did a lot of service for us. A lot. So much service he has done for us. They have only one son. So when the boy was small, he suddenly got Krishna Maharaj. He requested, give me this boy, let me train him in Krishna consciousness. The man was, they're laughing. They're laughing. They're afraid I'm going to do that. Huh? So the man was silent. The wife cried, Guru Maharaj, please, Guru, please, don't take this boy. Please don't take the boy. Please, I beg you, don't take it. So Maharaj said, okay, I won't take the boy. So the boy went to school. He came to Nigeria also. They were here in Nigeria for years. And eventually they sent the boy to America for school. The boy finished school. So it was heavy arrangement for marriage. The wedding card, the cost for the wedding card, it cost for the wedding card. Very, very high. Very high. Even the jacket alone to put the card inside, heavy. Heavier than this. This doesn't have weight. I'm telling you life experience, life, not just fiction, life. So they did the wedding. The boy got the girl from the school he attended, not from the parents. He got from them. So they came, before the wedding, they finished the school and they came back to Nigeria because the parents are still here. Now they're back in India. But they were here. So our challenge, they are not just saying something, they are not just speaking. Their words, they are life. So the boy and this girl, they are inside the room, but the mother and father cannot knock on that door. The mother and the father cannot knock on the door. Only if they need something, they come out themselves, ask for it, and go back. Other than that, do not knock on this door directly to the father and the mother. Do not knock on this door. So Prabhupada said here, in the modern setup of things, even a boy thinks himself self-sufficient and pays no respect to elderly people. Thus, due to the wrong type of education imparted by our universities, boys all over the world have become the cause of headache for the elderly people. So is this man happy? His own son, whom he spent money, trained, so he's paying money to do that. He's telling him, do not knock on this door. And it's his own house, not the boy's house yet. And the boy has worked himself and got money and get his house. This is the father's house. But he cannot knock on the room given to his own son because of the girl and the wrong education they have. Then when he told me the boy, I went to visit him. When I went there, he was telling the boy, Maharaj, officials Maharaj. Maharaj, what? Maharaj, what? 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 I just turned my face away because I saw the way heavily embarrassed. I just turned my face away and started talking to him to divert his attention from there so that he can feel comfortable. I did that. So he sat down, we started talking that and started telling him something else. And the boy with the girl, they went to their room and locked the door. And I talked with him and left. I didn't stay long because although I'm trying to talk with him, the mind is what the boy had just done. I've seen it. But it's always Gopal Krishna Maharaj asked for this boy and they refused. The result is what? It's a headache. Yes. So I speak and I give example. Not this fake, not fiction. It is happening. The Prophet said all over the world, it's happening. And then he concluded, the university are, so to speak, centers of nations only. And therefore the scientists are they are busy discovering lethal weapons to wipe out the nation or the citizens of other countries. Is it not? Yes. All over the world, the people over the country are spending more money in ammunition than in the health and education. And not that. University students today are not given instructions on the regulatory principle of brahmacharya, a spiritual process of life. Or do they have any faith in their respective spiritual injunction? Religious principles are taught for the sake of name and fame only, and not for the matter of practical education. No instruction on brahmacharya means what? Atma vinigraha. There's no Atma vinigraha. No faith in any scriptural injunction. Yes. Religious principles are taught only for the name, not for anything. This is a consequence, the outcome of our scientists. You say our scientists leading us, our politicians leading us. We are becoming less and less human beings. In proper say, we are becoming like us. By culturing the civilization of us. This is what is happening all over the world. No, Amani Tuam. Animosity in social, political, and religious fields. No santi arjawam. No santi. No nationalism. No anahankara. Yes. Nationalism. Nationalism in different parts of the world has also developed on account of this nation's education of the people. They have no information that this tiny earth is just a lump of matter floating in immeasurable material space, along with many other lumps. People do not know this, and we are simply wasting our time for nothing. We'll finish. Let me just conclude it. Let's conclude this. Yes. This is the 20 items, or the 18 items in proper I've mentioned here. You can see those who have to see the script and see it in the script. Yeah, they are all here. So anyway, let me just finish it. So Sri Isopanisad one of these faulty mode of education. And the Bhagavad Gita gives instruction as to the development of real knowledge. Did you understand? We told you before the relationship between Isopanisad and Bhagavad Gita, and we quoted many verses. Can you see it is also put here clearly? Can you see? Sri Isopanisad warns of this faulty mode of education, and what? The Bhagavad Gita gives instruction. Look at the instruction. Look at the instruction. 18. Chapter 13, 8 to 12. There are 18 items. There it is 20. Papa gave the 18 here because some of them they're added together. The 20 and 19 are mixed together, so it is 18 here. Adya Atma Gyana Nityatvam Tatva Gyanartha Darshanam. So there are two together. So it is 18 here, but it's complete. Is complete. 20. In this mantra, there is a hint that the instruction of Vidya, knowledge, must be gained through the Dhira. Dhira means undisturbed, not disturbed by material illusion. No one can be undisturbed unless and until he has perfect spiritual realization. When one is perfectly spiritually realized, he has no more material hankering for anything to be acquired, nor does he lament for anything lost. Such a Dhira has realized that material body and mind, which he has acquired by chance, material association, are foreign elements, and therefore he simply makes the best use of the bad bargain. The Dhiras are those who have come to know all these facts by hearing of them from superior authorities and who have realized them by following the regulative principles. To follow the regulative principle, one must go under the shelter of a bona fide spiritual master. You cannot follow the regulative principle whimsically in the house. The transcendental message comes down from the spiritual master to the disciple with the regulative principles and not in the hazardous way of nascent education. One can become a Dhira only by submissive hearing from the personality of Godhead. A perfect disciple must be like Arjuna, and the spiritual master must be as good as Lord himself. These are the processes of learning Vidya, knowledge, from the Dhira, the undisturbed. The undisturbed. Adhira, this is the opposite. Adhira, one who has not undergone the training of a Dhira cannot be an instructive leader. Modern politicians who pose themselves as Dhiras are themselves Adhiras. One cannot expect perfect knowledge from them. They are busy with their own pronunciation in dollars and pounds. So remuneration in dollars and pounds How can they lead the mass of people to the right path of self-realization? One must hear submissively from the Dhira in order to get actual education in life. You know what happened to Bible? You know what happened to Bible? To conclude, King James. When you take Bible, what do you see? King James version, is it not? Who is King James? Who is King James? Is he a devotee of Jesus? No. Is he a religious person? No. He's a traditionalist. He's a traditionalist. He practiced witchcraft, and he has made a Bible. So what will you get from it? What will you get from it? Witchcraft, blessing you get. Witchcraft becomes witchcraft actually, because that's what he has. That's what he is. That's what he will give. So we should not be surprised that Christians are not getting anywhere, because who is their leader?
Thank you.
Witchcraft. Yeah? Isaac. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. We have come to the end for today. So we'll continue tomorrow. Sri Isopanisad ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Maharaj ki jai. Stop.
Tidak aneh.